Chilling, man. Chilling. How about you, dude?
Dude, I'm feeling great coming off that win against the Cardinals. We're live right now, all Madden podcasts. We're live on YouTube, Twitch, Telegram, podcast coming to Spotify and Apple Music. But I'm just so fired up right now after that win against Levon that I just had, dude. I, but I gotta say, for Levon, I feel like this was the closest he got to knocking me off, and probably one that I think that I got away with that I probably should not have won.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Christmas in August for you, dude. Levon just gave you a gift. Um, yeah, I don't want to say Levon had control of that whole game, but the moments where you kind of took away momentum were just so odd. Whether it be that first 2 point, the fumble six, that boneheaded mirrored intercept, like you guys traded stupid plays. It kind of felt like Levon didn't want the win, dude. I don't know if did you kind of feel that?
I no, I definitely felt like he wanted the win, but I just know I could tell that he had it in the back of his head. Like, am I really going to win this thing? Like, am I really, or am I going to blow it? Like, what's going to happen here? This feels a little too good right now, because he was in positions where he definitely could have, made the separation and really taken control of the game. I'm thinking after I threw that end zone interception, right? He marches right back down the field, throws the exact same interception. Later on, I took a terrible sack. I was in like 4th and 29. I had to punt it. And then that drive, I think it was that drive. Maybe it was a different drive, but whatever the drive was, when he was running around with Russell Wilson, kind of just throws it up, it goes right to Devin White. Like, as much as he had the game in his hands, he knows like if he's going to win those games, he can't throw those two like terrible interceptions that he didn't need to throw either of those balls.
Yeah, man. Like, I was watching the game while I was waiting in line to get my haircut at Great Clips, potential
Nice.
future sponsor. Who knows? But it just felt desperate, dude. Right? Like, there's not really a need to take that shot on 2nd and 10 on that part of the field. So I'm not sure if it was desperation or like at that point you guys were really chummy and having fun, and it was just like but those are those mistakes you can't make in these super tight games versus your dad.
I mean, yeah, true. But maybe he saw the same thing that I saw, right? I thought the window was there, and it was kind of an identical play for him. We both made the throw. We both regretted it. Um, it's funny that you mentioned the going up 8-7 at the beginning of the game. This is something that I feel like everybody should do. If you feel like you're the better team and your opponent goes down and marches down the field and scores a touchdown on you, they're starting to feel good about themselves. They're getting some
Yep.
confidence. If you can go right back down the field and you can put 8 on their ass, and it's just like, oh shit, I had like the best possible start, and now I'm fucking losing getting the ball for the second time. Like my offense should be feeling great. I'm losing. How did this happen? Um,
Yeah, man.
anywhere you
And
can
that
get like a mental advantage.
that 2 point, like everyone usually does that flip over the shoulder, and it's the pass to the right side of the field. I didn't even know Bo Nix was capable of that kind of sauce, dude. Like when he saw fake, even though your dude was running to the left, he still crashed right. Like you caught him off, so it was so good.
Yeah, people got to use that play. It's the fake field goal sprint out pass when they sprint to the left side. You don't really even need to take the risk to throw that ball. They get such a nice like scramble burst and then turn it right into a run. Even Bo Nix, he's not that fast, but you're not catching him unless you're like on it with the linebacker immediately. Because those guys just get, if they're blocking off that side, they just get sucked in.
But I kind of wanted to ask you this question, man. So, you're do you have the one seed locked up right now, or is it
Oh
pretty
no, no,
much
no.
it's still a fight
So
between you and Alex?
I'm actually in the 3 position right now. So
Oh no way.
quietly, RK has been just ripping off wins. I mean, he hasn't lost since he lost to the Vikings. He's up to 11-2 now.
He is the
Alex is
Vikings.
11-2. What'd you say?
RK is the Vikings. Are you referencing
Yeah.
Alex losing to Vikings? My bad.
No, I don't know. I don't even know what I said at this point.
Good.
Um, Alex is 1. RK is 2. I'm 3 right now. It would have been Levon 3. Um, Hank losing to Dan was big last week. So I actually have RK though in week 18. So the ball is very much, in both of our courts. I guess the phrase doesn't really work there, but we're both going to have a chance to lock up that 2 seed in the last week of the season.
But dude, so if I were to read you these stats for Rattler, do you feel like you should have won the game? Right? He was 11 for 18, 140 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 pick.
You know, with such low volume, I would think like, oh damn, it was a Travion game, and it
Yeah.
kind of was, man. Like even Levon said it. He was getting gashed. Like when Travion was running the ball, he was not getting touched until like 8 yards down the field. And when it's just when I'm just matched up with free safeties and corners like that, they're not going to touch him.
Yeah, and then you look at Levon's stats, and neither of you had a great passer rating, but his just raw yardage is there. He threw for 340 plus yards, 3 touchdowns. But with a player like you, who you kind of just mentioned it, if you're struggling or if you're kind of misfiring on offense, you kind of have that self discipline to kind of feed and we saw you feed your backs before they were even X factors. So it's not even that you're relying on some like bullshit ability. Um, but I just don't think Levon's unlocked that like secret sauce yet, how to beat elite teams. Because his only answer is like the big play. And we saw you anticipate these shots, and you had 3 turnovers off of them, and that's not including the CMC fumble 6.
I mean, he had a ton of great like downfield passes, like crossfield passes, guys running back across the middle that he hit late in the play. Levon can do that. He's talented enough at the game to do that for a long time and be successful with it, but he's not talented enough at the game, and I don't think most people are, to go 90% pass, 10% run. There was just no threat of the run at any point in that game.
Yeah,
McCaffrey had 7 carries. He was averaging 6 yards a carry. I mean, if he
yeah,
stuck to it a little bit more, I would have had much more to think about on defense, but there was just no. What was he? 22 for 37. Yeah, 37 pass attempts to 7 carries. I mean, it's easy.
yeah. And kind of when if I think of one play that puts this entire game into like a snapshot, I think of that, was it a 4th and 10, where he's second to last drive. He's trying to keep hopes alive, and he takes a score on this drive, but pretty much just scrambles to the right. You clamp down the whole center in the right field, and he just throws a Hail Mary to the left side of the field, and he has a wide open guy. Call that luck or call that knowing his offense. You can't survive on those types of plays.
Not
Um,
sustainable.
yeah, and I know Levon's been really big on his win streak, but I think today was a perfect game for him to be reminded that you still need balance, and balance even within the passing game. So I'm hoping he like kind of learns a lesson from this loss and kind of evolves.
Yeah, one more thing on that. You raised such a good point. It makes me think of this saying that heroics don't scale. And I think about it more in like work. And like if you're working on a project and you're coming up against a deadline, you might work till like 2, 3 a.m. on multiple nights just to get the job across the finish line. But you can't expect like people to go to that length and pull these heroics at like at a large scale or over the course of a project or over, the span of an entire, team. And I think that's the same for Madden. Like, if you're getting these heroic plays, you might get them every once in a while, but you can't make your money trying to just pull those crazy plays like that. So
Yeah,
I think you make a great point about that.
and we kind of talked about that a little bit today about working out, right? I guess you're doing this 100 push-ups a day challenge, and I kind of called you a bitch. Like, dude, you're way too in shape to only be doing 100 push-ups. And you brought up a good point, man. It's about building that consistency and building that foundation.
Oh,
And
I
we can
love
apply.
consistency, dude. Yeah, like another one of my favorite sayings, dude, is like, don't be be consistently good. Don't be occasionally great, because
Yeah,
somebody might show up and they might, run a fucking sick half marathon, like, but then they don't work out for 3 weeks. Like, I would rather be the person that's like going out running 4 miles a day, 4 miles a day, 4 miles a day, 4 miles a day, and just building that consistently, sharpening that discipline. Like, I love that stuff, man.
yeah. I think my favorite quote, and I heard this from a really important leader that I met back in the day, was, "It's your weight, you carry it." It
Mm.
has nothing really to do with Madden games, but if we're just talking about inspirational quotes, that's kind of, I heard that when I was 19 years old, and that kind of changed the way I lived my life.
Wow, I love it. I
Yeah,
love a good quote, man.
yeah, the great dude.
Yeah, drop a quote in the comments if you got any good ones. I'll always hear a good quote, no matter what. I mean, you can never hear too many. Damn. So who even got the interceptions for me? Okay, so Devin Knight had that one. J.C. Horn had one in the end zone, and then on the very last play of the game, oh my god, dude! I don't know what I was doing
Yeah.
calling cover 3 on that. That was fucking so dumb. Yeah, I see Mecole Hardman start to run by J.C. Horn. I was like, no. And so I'm controlling Kyle Hamilton, and I just take off. And Kyle Hamilton's only like 91 speed. He's a big fella. He tries hard
Yeah.
out there. But we all saw the fucking video on Twitter. He's not uh, twitchy, quick, or he's not
Yeah.
a track star. So,
He's a
oh
linebacker in
my,
a safety position.
exactly. I was so happy that Russ did not have the arm strength to put it out there like a couple more yards. I thought I was fucking toast, dude.
Do you think do you think there's anything Levon can do to complete that pass, like hold up, lob, or was that? I mean, you play Russ. You've played him multiple times now. Was he kind of just outstretched?
I don't know. Maybe he's got to throw it like a second earlier with the same trajectory. I genuinely don't know how I got to look it back at the replay. I don't know how he like was
He
able to
walked by
get a
him.
step in front of him and then make the interception. Like I just did
Yeah,
not see that happening. I was like,
yeah,
please make the
dude.
tackle, dear God.
I saw Levon go for that rack animation, and it looked like he had it right because the ball's coming and the receiver's still full motion, and camera just flips. I thought it was gonna be a touchdown, and the camera just flips because I couldn't tell who caught the ball. It was the game sealing INT. Um, but if I had to go to the play that changed the fucking game,
Hold
was
on, before you say the play that changed the game, what is the move on that? Is it man up 3 deep? Is that what you got to do? Like in prevent formation, just to go man up 3 deep?
I
Like,
mean,
what do you call there?
if it's legit last play of the game, don't give up a bomb. I go man up 3 deep. I'll put my ends at corn the purple zones, set them to
Mhm.
30, and then I'll just use it the deep safety and try to just swat the bomb.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
I
Cool.
would coming out in the zone is rough. Like
I know that was so dumb.
you just don't know when zones are gonna fail.
So true. All right. You were saying?
But dude, your rookie strong safety Chris Hutchins that caused that fumble. And granted, Levon gave you a stupid spin into two defenders for no reason. But dude, that guy brought the fucking hammer, and that was you felt the air just go out of Levon. You're like, he was like, oh, I can't do nothing right. Like this always happens. And if you just look at it objectively, like it was, I want to say it was 1st and 10 or like 2nd and 7, and that was still like a 6 or 7 yard positive play. Like he should have been excited to have 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, but he just got really desperate for yards, and Chris Hutchins fucking killed him. And
Wow. I'm so glad Chris Hutchins is getting airtime on this pod. I love him so much. He's such a great rookie. And dude, there's so many opportunities for that. I will tell people in the league when you're playing defense, if they're running towards the sideline, resist the urge to click onto that most outside defender and make the tackle. Let him try to make a move back towards the middle. If you've
yeah,
got somebody coming in there full speed, full sprint, and they're coming off a spin or off a juke, and you can get a hit stick on them, that's probably going to be your best chance to get let alone quarterback stuff, best chance to get a fumble in the game.
yeah, because I think we've seen, especially in this Madden, and I'm kind of excited to go back to play the next Madden because supposedly defense is supposed to be better, but it's hard to get legitimate stops in this game. So you need turnovers. So yeah, man, like bait people back into those dangerous plays for them. And Levon gave you one, and you ate it up.
Yes, that was so satisfying.
Yeah, I
And that
mean,
was right after the play that when he fucking threw it up to Devonte Adams, it hit off Devonte Adams' hands, and then I was like, "Oh no!"
dude.
I got lucky that Devonte dropped it, and then it went right out of Mecole Hardman's hands too, and I was like, "Whew!" I was counting my blessings.
Yeah, and they both had like clear like I don't know what else I don't know if he possession caught that, spectacular caught that, but that should have been 2 touchdowns in one play.
I know, man. Yeah, I got a lot of breaks. Another break that comes to mind was the roughing the passer. I think it was like 3rd and 15. It would have been an incomplete pass, put me
Yeah.
in a terrible 4th down, and then I just got that was a first down. Then I was at like the 40-yard line at that point with like 2 minutes left, and or like less than 2 minutes, and then I can pretty much do whatever I want. I can either take the field goal or I just run out on the clock and get a last second touchdown. Shipley, 2 out of the last 4 weeks when I played Derek, and now I played Levon, 2 games in 4 weeks. He got the game-winning touchdown with less than 15 seconds left. That boy Shipley is clutch, man.
Yeah, like I think so. If you would have asked me at the start of the season, like who's your better running back, I would have said Travion hands down. But I almost think they're one in another now, like one in each other, right? Like Do you just have Shipley as the three down running back, and he pretty much always comes in on gun?
Pretty much, yeah. I've got a couple formations where Travion stays in because I like to run inside zone
Mhm.
with him, and he's just a better runner. But you're right, dude. They are such a perfect 1-2 punch. I love them. They're so
Yeah,
great.
like I've tried doing that two back attack before, and I just can't really find a rhythm. I've tried it with Travis Dye and Dalvin Cook and other variants, and even with X Factor running backs, I couldn't find that formula. So I know you thought about trading Shipley this past offseason, but man, good thing you didn't. Good thing you didn't.
I know. I'm so glad. All right, cool. So great game, great performance by Levon. Levon, that was it was a great one. You're gonna have another shot at me in 2 weeks, so we'll see how that game goes down. But yeah, I think we're good on that game. We're good to move on.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. So usually we do the league member spotlight, but our boy Brina, he's heading off, not to Afghanistan. Where you headed?
I'm going to Wisconsin, Fort McCoy, for just under a month.
Damn. And what is the training that you're doing there again?
So I'm going to this class called Advanced Leadership Course, and it's kind of I won't be in the field like shitting my pants or anything like that. It's kind of just like a classroom environment where we're just learning how to be better like leaders through doctrine and kind of shit like that.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's something we got to do. Not exactly looking forward to it, but hey, it pays the bills.
Absolutely, dude. So we were thinking that since it's your last podcast for a while, since you're going to be gone, we are going to do the league member spotlight on you, Brian Keanu Reeves, man of many names.
Hell yeah.
So let's start it off. How old are you?
So I am currently 32 years old, and I turned 33 late September. I'm a Libra, so which is why I have a really balanced personality and don't require heavy medication to be relaxed.
That is hilarious. For the folks at home, we all know that Brina does require a lot of self medication.
Yeah, dude, did you catch my game versus Riley? Like, I've been playing my games pretty sober lately, and I had like fucking, I think it was like a bad pass for Moon, and I nearly fucking cracked my table, dude. I just fucking fist pounded my table.
Jeez, get this man some weed. So you're going to be weedless until. Are you going to get back on it until you get back? Or I mean, are you
uh,
going to be back on it when you get back?
I will neither confirm nor deny, but I will be
Okay.
deep into the matrix.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, don't commit to anything. It's a long time away. You'll
Yeah,
be a
bro.
different leader by then. You won't even know what you want to do.
I know.
All right. Where do you live, Brina?
So I live right now in a little city called Mount Clair, California. It's about 30 miles outside of downtown LA. But I consider when people ask me where I live in Los Angeles, man. I grew up in LA. I love everything Los Angeles. And I'm a SoCal boy through and through, man.
Very cool, dude. That is very cool.
Yeah.
So you didn't grow up in the town that you currently live in, but you grew up around LA as well?
Yeah. So I grew up in a city called El Monte, which is in LA County. Right now I kind of live in your boy moved into the suburbs, which is kind of chilling.
Love
Um,
that.
but yeah, I've been at my place right now for about 2 years. Me and my wife bought this house about 2 years ago, and then we've just been trying to make as many moves since, man.
That's awesome. Speaking of making moves, what do you do? What do you do for work? Like, what's your career? I know you got a lot of careers. You're a podcaster, you're a streamer. What else?
Yeah, man. So I actually really love my job. I'm a senior purchasing agent for a pretty well-known car company called CarMax. I pretty much just buy their inventory, and the company does its thing. So I've kind of really enjoyed building a career where I've kind of based it off of one of my passions. Like growing up with cars was really important to me. It's something that me and my dad bonded over. Um, and yeah, I love my job. I get to work with one of my best friends, Phil, and I also run an Airbnb. I do the military thing, but most importantly, I'm a professional podcaster now, bro. So
Let's go.
hopefully one day this will be the primary tag in my LinkedIn account.
Oh,
Professional
yeah.
professional podcaster.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, and we'll be using the Airbnb as our permanent studio.
Hell yeah.
All right. This is a fun one. I always love this one. Favorite player you've had on your Madden team? So we think of the Browns. A lot
Yeah,
of iconic players have come through Cleveland in Madden 22. I'll say that.
yeah, dude.
I don't want to start guessing because then I'll just start naming all of those fucking. Oh my
Who do
god!
you
I
think
just
it is?
well, so many are coming to mind. Dude. I feel like you're most high on Fuentes right now,
Yeah,
but if we're talking about the whole span of Madden 22, I mean, Waddle on the Browns is a fucking. He's a first ballot Madden 22 Hall of Famer.
yeah,
Josh Allen had some incredible days with Josh Allen. You won MVP with him. You always everything that you're doing in the chat, you do it in Isaiah Simmons. There's
yeah.
another guy you love. Justin Reed, I know you love, but you let him out the building. But I think if I were to guess one guy, none of those guys. I would guess the boys Smoke Monday.
You hit it on the head, bro. You hit it
Let's
on the
go.
head. Like I have mad love for all those other dudes, but when I think of my favorite player, it's Smoke Monday, right? And not for just the dog fucking gangster ass name, but when I think of the way I like to play Madden, not on the level of joke, but I love developing the other. I love developing these non-meta type players.
Mm.
Um, and Smoke Monday's just that guy for me, man. It's 2 years in a row now. I've gotten him as a low 60 overall normal dev player. And, I like to crack him out. He's like a 92 overall strong safety right now. And no one hands out the smoke better than Smoke, dude. And
What? Wait, you had him last Madden too?
yeah, he was a
Oh my god.
he was a custom rookie, but they disrespected the shit out of him. He was like a 63 overall. So he's kind of started off the same last Madden as well, just like a low 60s player. But I just love everything about him, man. I love his name. I love his size. I love that he's a dog, bro. And he kind of just embodies the way I like to play the game.
I've never even looked into him. So 6'3", he's at Auburn, but then he just got drafted by the Saints.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure if he's fucking gonna make an active roster, which is kind of like if he'll even be on the next Madden. So hopefully the boy can figure out in camp and make it to the game.
Or we can get him in the league. We can work him up the wait list and just get him in the Madden league. That's probably next best thing for him.
Yeah.
All right. I'm kind of putting you on the spot here. But the next one is fun fact. Do you have a good fun fact about yourself? I feel like they're always tough to come up with.
Um. Damn. So the only thing like when I think of my fun facts, I think about my friends and shit. But fun fact: the first time I met Phil, it was my junior year. It was at our first football practice, and I was a transfer from a high school, from a different county and shit. And the first time I met Phil was actually me taking his job. He was the starting center for the team. I rolled up. I had a quicker snap than him. Coach said, "You're the starting center." So
Oh,
I took
damn.
his fucking job. And Phil's the kind of guy that if he gets adversity, he's not gonna. He wasn't a bitch about it. We became really good friends. And when the season came around, I was academically ineligible, so he got his job back.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, I guess that's my fun fact. The way me and Phil met for the first time, I'd want to say 17, 18 years ago now, dude.
Damn.
Yeah, that dude changed my life, man. Phil's a really good dude.
How did he change your life?
I'll be honest, man. Like the where I, the group of friends that I had before I met the current group of friends I had, looking back, we're all kind of pieces of shit, and you don't really understand what like being a real friend is, or like not expecting like something out of relationships or friendships, or like when I moved to West Covina and met Phil, I met JJ. That was kind of like the first time where I could kind of be myself and not have to be a part of something else to fit in, or have to look a certain way to fit in, or talk a certain way to fit in. And then you meet their families and they're just as welcoming, and that's kind of stuff that I wasn't used to. So yeah, like meeting Phil and that fucking loser JJ really had a really positive impact on my life.
Damn, that is beautiful, bro. Love to
Yeah,
hear
bro.
that. And how many people were in your high school graduating class?
uh so I graduated in West Covina with Phil. I want to say about 4 to 500. I want to say around
Damn,
there. Yeah, it was a
it's
pretty
pretty
big,
big high school.
pretty big high school.
All right,
Fuckers
cool.
won CIF after we graduated though.
CIF, what's that?
They won like not CIF. They actually won state. CIF is like when you win your kind of division, and then you go to like state and shit. So once we left, this football team got a lot better, which kind of says how we played.
Wait. Back up. So, does California have like? Do they name one football state champion of like the entire state?
I believe so. It's been pretty
Damn.
long. It's been pretty long, but from what I remember, you win your set kind of division and then just go to like an overall state finals kind of thing.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Last question before we move on. How did you get into DNVR/the league?
Yeah, dude. So I think a lot of people share the similar story of, we were kind of all just searching for Broncos content, especially after they won the Super Bowl, right? We were all just super stoked. Like, I just need more and more and more. And I remember like in 2015, I was listening to Mile High Huddle, and like you guys will hear me trash that fucking shit podcast over and over. And I just jumped on Spotify and I searched Denver Broncos, and I came across BSN. And I immediately fucking super dug it. Like, I remember when Spano was the producer, they had a call line. I
Wait,
was kind of yeah.
is Mile High Huddle the one on YouTube where the skinny dude is always wearing like the flat brim hat?
Yeah, fuck that guy, dude. Nick Kendall.
Yes.
Yeah, I got so over that podcast where he got into an argument once with like a listener, and he's like, dude, I'll mess you up. I can bench 315. And I was like, okay,
Oh my god,
this is not the podcast for me. Like, these are not hashtag good vibes.
that guy's such a dork. I can't
Yeah,
listen to a
dude.
dork like that talk about fucking football, dude. He's
Yeah,
such a
dude.
dweeb.
So I jumped on Spotify. I was like, I need something else. Like, I need something else. So I came across BSN. When I came to BSN, it was like a couple years before the league came, but the comment section and the call line was something pretty cool because you'd start hearing these same listeners over and over, like Timmy from Sweden and then Cullen from Mullins. Like, you're listening to RK, Zach, and for a Mace a little while talk, but you're also hearing these same comments over and over. So this little community started building up, and then I want to say like late 2019, the homie Timmy just put out a comment, "Hey, I want to create a Madden league," and I think I was one of the original like 6 or 8 that replied. I think we cranked out. I don't know if we ever got a league started for 19, but we had started playing some games. So once 20 came around, it started, right, and then Timmy asked me a couple months in if I wanted to be a commissioner just because I was always on, and it kept snowballing and snowballing, dude. And it's like, right, look at where we are now. I would have never thought we would have made a podcast over, wanting to just burn some time during the pandemic, and then we've all got to experience some crazy life experiences with each other, whether it be getting married or people having kids and all that kind of shit. So I'm super grateful for the league, man. Like, super stoked that everybody gets to be an equal part of it and all that kind of fun stuff.
Dude, and I think that the league is super grateful to have you, dudes, because you're one of the OGs of OGs. You are like the goddamn welcome committee in the league. I remember when I joined, and this guy Ricky Bobby was just already fucking blowing me up when I first joined. That's when you had a short stint as Ricky Bobby before you went back to Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
You're one of the most enthusiastic people about in the chat. You fucking get hyped up about pretty much every game that comes through the chat. You're a fucking great player on top of that. You're a commissioner. This league is lucky to have you, my man, for sure.
Thanks, dude. And like, I'll say this, right? Life's too shitty to be shitty in chat. Like, so I know recently, especially today, we've been talking about some things that are like touchier than others. But I'll just tell people, zoom out, bro. Remember why we're in here. Remember, we're here to have a good time. Leave all that negative, nasty shit outside. If you can be professional enough to share your opinion with someone, um, and allow that to be a a two-way conversation, let's do it. But yeah, just be good to each other. And if you want to be assholes, like, I'm pretty sure you and me can out asshole people. So let's just leave that shit outside.
Damn, yeah, that's a great point. But I had something so good to ask you, and I forget. Fuck.
Dude, real quick, my AC just broke. And it's hot as balls in my house right now.
Do you need to make moves and do something?
No, I'm just gonna stay here all sweaty in this picture.
Okay, dude. Okay. You don't look sweaty at all. You look fine. I thought maybe your wife was hitting you up that you needed to go do something or fix it or something.
Nah, I'm chilling.
Damn. All right. What was I thinking? All right. So you're you're all lined up to be the Chargers next Madden.
Oof.
You've got no games left this Madden. Right now, you're tied at the top of the AFC North, but you're thinking that who do you think will win your division?
I'll be disappointed if Jason doesn't figure it out. This is gonna sound super harsh, right? Because whoever wins this division, I at least want to represent well in the playoff picture. I think Jason has the best chance to steal a couple wins in the AFC playoff race. I don't really have much faith in any of my other division division mates if they do win the division, because I think everybody's within a 2 game spread of each other. I think we're all 6-7 or 6-8 or something like that. So
Well,
I hope Jason figures it out.
yeah. So you guys are all locked up at 6-7, and then Logan is one game behind at 5-8. The Ravens and Steelers play each other this week. You've obviously got the Packers. You're playing Edge later tonight, right?
Yeah, I'll play Edge later tonight.
Okay. All right. Cool. But then you're done after that, right? No more.
Yeah. This course I'm going to doesn't seem as flexible as the one Levon went to. So I kind of just don't want to really have to deal with that. So this will probably be my send off game.
All right. Let's end on a good one.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm going for 200 catches, baby.
How many do you need?
47.
I love it because that's actually in your head as a target that you're actually going to try to.
Oh, it's gonna happen, dude. As long as I get him close enough to like these last couple CPU games to give it a shot, and then I'll set my base playbook as like an air raid team, and just cross my fingers and pray.
Damn, that's incredible. Yeah, you got to get. Well, you need 47 to get to 200. You'll at least get like 22 this game.
Yeah, I'll get 20 plus.
Yeah. All right. Let's go. That's dope. All right. All right. So that was our league member spotlight with none other than Brina, our favorite Mexican podcast host.
Hell yeah.
All right. Mike asked in the chat, in like the Telegram chat, he said, "Send off? Is he not doing it anymore?" Just yeah, he's got army stuff coming up, down cleared.
Yeah, I'll be gone
this
on
is
a
not
little.
a permanent leave. He's coming back.
Yeah, I'll be gone. I'll be away from my Xbox from about 3 weeks, Mike. But I'll be still fucking around in Telegram and keeping up with the games as much as I can. I just kind of don't want to have to figure out traveling with my Xbox, and then where I'm going. I'm not allowed a rental car. So if I wanted to go to a Best Buy, I'd have to fucking catch an Uber, and yeah, I just don't want to deal with the headache, man.
Yeah, it sounds like a big headache. It's definitely not worth it. Take a little break. You know,
Yeah.
this is what I was telling you earlier. Just take some time off from the game. You're going to get re-enthused about Madden in general, and it's going to be at a great time as we're going over to Madden 23. You're going to be returning at a perfect time.
Yeah, and don't get this fucking twisted, guys. I'm gonna fucking gape everybody in 23. I
Ooh.
purposely put myself in position with RK, right? If I'm gonna overcome that mountain, I want to get to the peak. And the fact that I get to be the Chargers, like I've never been more excited to not have to be an organization attached to Deshaun Watson's creepy ass. I'm not the Texans anymore. I'm not the Browns anymore. I get to be my hometown fucking Chargers. So let's fucking go. Let's fucking figure it out and get some lowriders in the chat.
Dude, I love it. I love how you're just facing your fears head on and you're just running right into it because that's the only way that you can do it. I mean, that's what I do. I'm a homophobe. That's why I'm always fucking dudes.
As you should, man. You got to find out if you like it or not.
Exactly. You just face your fears head on. That's for anybody in the chat. So much
shoulder on.
It's an inspiring podcast episode.
Hell yeah.
All right. Sweet. League member spotlight. All right, cool. So even though Levon is not here, the QB master, the king of the QB rankings, we got them. We have them. They were emailed to us. So let me pull it up right now. I got to scroll back in our. They weren't actually emailed. He sent them over Telegram, but I got to scroll in our podcast group chat through all
So
the
many,
goddamn
so
video
many video
messages.
messages, dude.
God damn.
Dude.
All right, here we go.
Okay, God, they're like 40 videos behind. All right, let me
I
open it up.
know. All right. I had an issue with a couple of these, honestly.
Can we let some week 15 games affect the rankings? Because I might disagree now with some of these too.
Okay, no, we won't factor that. I mean, we'll talk about that for sure, but we'll just talk about these rankings as they are right now. So let me just run through the top 10 just so that everybody can kind of visualize them in their head before we start talking about them. Is that cool?
Yeah, dude.
All right. Number one, we got Spencer Rattler, 40 touchdowns, 12 picks. No, I won't say the stats. I'll just say the name. Number one,
Nice.
Spencer Rattler. Number two, Lamar Jackson. Number three, Russell Wilson. Number four, Justin Fields. Number five, Pat Mahomes. Number six, Trevor Lawrence. Number seven, Mac Jones. Number eight, Justin Herbert. Number nine, Josh Allen. And number 10, Trey Lance.
Man, it is crazy to see the fucking moonshot Trey Lance has had since arriving in
Yeah,
Buffalo.
that is exactly what I was thinking when I read that list because I didn't even realize that he got up. He's jumped up 5 spots, and Timmy got him to an X Factor.
Yeah, I gave him that gift.
Oh, yeah, you did.
He beat the shit out of me with a bat in a fucking back alley, dude.
Well, how many Raiders games did we watch and we were like, this Trey Lance guy's damn near unplayable. He misses so many throws. He's not that fast. He's got a slow arm release. And now that he's at his final stop, he's an X Factor. He's a fucking stud. Timmy's got him.
Yeah, and and it wasn't even Mike Trout. My best friend Andrew. I
Love
forget
him.
his whole. Yeah, he made him look worse. So like all we've had in our head is Trey Lance is the the worst quarterback in the league if you want to like exclude like the no name guys. But to see what Timmy's done with him and like that ability game he had with me was kind of a gimme. And not saying that like we bullshit or anything like that, but it was just one of those games where like he dominated, right? But
Mhm.
even before that X Factor game, like he's made Lance so efficient, and he's kind of just gone back to his balanced football, and he's making the most of Trey Lance. I don't think we'll see Trey Lance as a QB one through five, but seeing him at 10 is just like a testament of like Timmy's commitment to like balance and being smart playing his games.
You know which one I didn't agree with on this list?
What's
In
that?
this top 10? I thought that Lamar Jackson was a little high because I'm looking, he's got really low yardage. He's at like 3,500 yards. Russell Wilson's got 8 more touchdowns, granted 4 more picks, but then he's also got, 800 more yards. Fields has been way more productive too and has only 15 picks.
Yeah, I agree too, right? Because when I think of, and I think this is where kind of Levon's rankings can lean too much on efficiency and not like on impact of the game. You can't beat QB2, dude, and averaging under 260 yards a game. Like
Yeah,
the offense does not go through Lamar's arm. And I'd also kind of have to say that about no disrespect, dude. I'd kind of have to say that about Rattler.
Ooh.
I think Rattler's a step above Lamar. But I think when you struggle, you don't lean on your passing game. So when I think of QB1 is like who's gonna win games. So I know this is gonna come off kind of crazy, but my QB1 right now is Trevor Lawrence, bro.
Ooh, okay, explain.
Most yards, most touchdowns. He's got a lot of turnovers, but in games or drives where you may punt, he's throwing a bomb. And kind of that's the life and the death of the air raid, where these deep shots kind of serve as punts in some situations. But when I think of who QB1 is, I think of quarterbacks that are going to succeed regardless of situation. So I think of quarterbacks like, well, not this year's Josh Allen, but Josh Allen, Justin Fields, Justin Herbert. And Justin Herbert by no means is having that kind of season this year, but like quarterbacks and users that we've seen have taken over the game despite the lack of a running game, and kind of are the offense. That's how I think of a QB1.
Well, I don't know if you looked this up, but it's so funny that you say that because I just went over to the punting stats across the league. The Vikings have punted one time all season. One time.
Yeah, he's
So
pushing the
he
ball, dude. He's pushing the ball.
fuck. Respect. All right. Yeah, he's got one punt for 33 yards.
Cut that punter.
Um
Trash.
how many times have you punted? You're pretty low too. You've only punted twice. You've got Johnny Hecker. You've only punted 2 times.
Oh, kickoff specialist extraordinaire, dude. I just need to
True.
figure out how to do that corner cheese kick shit RK does. Maybe he'll teach me in the next Madden if he want, if he's gonna be a good dad.
Oh, it's so easy, dude. You literally just do sky kick and then all the way over to the right and just kick it normal. It's perfect. Goes to the up
See,
man.
CRK, was that hard? Thanks, bro.
I'm doing that all playoffs. Like I was trying to make Levon return it and he would not return it. Like too many good things can happen for the kickoff team if they return the ball. Like I'm forcing that shit for the rest of the season.
Yeah, like we've seen maybe what less than 5 kick return touchdowns. I think you have one of them. I have one of them. But how many kick return touchdowns are there, and how many fucking fumbles on kick return attempts are there? Like it's if we could play this game, I would just get rid of special teams, dude. I fucking hate it.
I know. Yeah, Madden's got to. What needs to happen like with kickoffs and kick returns? Like it's just not. They just don't get it right. I feel like, but I don't know
I,
what's missing.
I think it's the blocking, but I don't think Madden yet can separate blocking from offense and blocking on special teams, right? It's just
Mm,
ratings. So on special teams, you have a bunch of linebackers, tight ends, safeties. Like these dudes have trash blocking stats. So of course they're getting fucking blown up when you have superstar defenders on kickoff teams. So I don't really know how they do that. If you can customize, if we could ever potentially customize our special teams, uh, lineups, that would be cool. Because I'd have
hmm
my starting 5 offensive line at the wedge, and everything's
Oh,
going to the house.
yeah, that would be crazy. Well, dude, we were talking about like just passing yardage earlier. So one, two. I'm gonna see what number Lamar is in terms of passing yards. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's like 15th in passing yards.
So I'm gonna give you 2 quarterbacks:
Okay.
Lamar Jackson, Mac Jones. Is one just a faster version of the other?
Oh, in terms of like Madden ratings, what are you
Uh,
asking?
the way they perform, right? I feel like both players, Alex and Hank, kind of put them in the same type of position where the offense doesn't really run through them. I know Lamar's gonna have those rushing stats, and you worry about Lamar as a rusher. But you don't ever see a game, or it's rare that you see a game where you go, man, Lamar just took over as a passer and had a 500-yard game, or Mac Jones had a 500-yard game and absolutely dissected somebody. They're winning off of well-timed shots. They're winning off of their defense, their run game. Um, yeah, to me, like Lamar's just not the way Hank uses him. He's not a top QB.
Yeah, I'm with you. They're both kind of low volume guys. Like Mac Jones only 39 touchdowns, Lamar only 41. Damn, yeah. T Lop at 57. What do you think about Josh Lance? Not Josh Lance, goddamn. Josh Allen. He's right next to Trey Lance on the rankings. Josh Allen moving up 5 spots now, being at number 9.
I think that's good, dude. I know last night he absolutely destroyed Spence. I don't want to say Adams fight. I don't want to say Adams finding his rhythm, because he hasn't really showed it against like a top tier opponent like these last couple games he's you know, got some wins in. But just keep it going, man. Uh, if you're right now is the right time to start getting that positive momentum as he gets ready for the playoffs. Because we could talk about it all day, but Josh Allen has no limitation. So
None.
So figure it out, Adam. I've been really hard on you, but you have the perfect puzzle piece at quarterback. So figure that shit out.
All right, so some other QBs on this. Well, actually, while we're talking about the Colts, let's stay on this. He's got the Jaguars coming up. Who knows what'll happen in that matchup? But then he's going at the Cardinals. Levon's next game is against Adam. Who do you think comes out with that win? Colts or Cards?
It should be cards, but I don't know how like if Levon's confidence is shook right now because he sounded like very grateful to even be close to winning to you, right? So I don't know if the Cardinals are projecting down and the Colts are projecting up. The Cardinals should walk away with this win easily, but I'm questioning it.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. I think it'll be Cardinals too. I can just picture a game where fucking things are kind of just going Levon's way and Adam's screaming at Madden and Levon's just, laughing, Can you just see that happening?
Yeah, did you know what the most frustrating thing about watching Adam games are is he'll tell you why he like plays aren't working for him. It's like, "Oh, I should have called cover 6 instead of cover 3 or my DB should have squatted 5 yards depth, not 7 yards depth." Like bro, just play the fucking game. Just shut up and play the game, Like I know you're good enough. It's almost like sometimes his real life football knowledge gets in the way of just playing the fucking game in front of him, and these excuses start to snowball, and that's a whole nother rant, man. But
Dude,
yeah,
I think he sometimes forgets that he's playing against another opponent and he thinks he's just playing against the game,
yeah,
Like his he feels like his real opponent is Madden when in reality his real opponent is Levon or it's, Paul
yeah,
Crew.
like your opponent gets to try to counter you, right? Like you can't just say, "Well, I'm in cover 3. This should have worked." Like figure it out.
Yeah, and if some Madden bullshit happens, just know it breaks both ways. We've all gotten hit with it, Nobody's, crazy unlucky, but
Yeah. Well, unless yeah. Well, even Mike doesn't really say that anymore. So is Adam the new Mike?
it could be. He
Could
could be.
be.
All right, so more QB rankings. Joe Burrow at 11, Quinn Ewers at 12, Kyler Murray down 4 spots to 13, Archie Manning down 4 spots to 14, KJ Jefferson up 8 spots. He just
Can
started
I
playing for the
say one
Pats.
that stands out for me in a sad way?
Please, 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 please.
I mean, I'm always going to talk about my boys, right? But dude, Stephen Majori dropping to 24. He was
Ooh.
Mr. Efficiency, and like I know Phil's going to say he has some O-line problems, but 21 touchdown, 33 picks, and only 2,100 yards. Like you're just bad.
Damn, yeah, you're throwing a pick. You're throwing almost 2 picks for every 100 passing yards.
Yeah,
That's
and the
that's
yards aren't
rough.
there. And Jalen,
Yeah.
like,
He
it's
should
kind
not
of
be throwing enough to have 33 interceptions if Phil's playing the game he wants to play. But that just
yeah.
shows a lot of games have gotten away from him this season. He's had some weird ones too with some CPU games and stuff like that.
What about Fly or Wyatt climbing 2 spots, dude? You want to talk about the homie Tlyer real quick?
Oh yeah, well I got to talk about Tlyer. I was gonna save it for wins of the week, but shout out to Mike Trout and the Raiders, dude. Probably one of the best CPU games I've ever seen, man. It was 21-13. Game looked like it was pretty much lost. Raiders needed to go like 80 yards. He goes 80 yards, scores the touchdown, gets the 2-point conversion. Game goes to overtime. Raiders get the ball. Tlyer marches right down the field, gets the game-winning touchdown. It was just gorgeous. I love to see it. And it was a win that fucking kept the Raiders in the fucking playoff race in the AFC West. I think they're
Yeah.
all bunched up right now.
But my last take on QB rankings is
Mhm.
who are you taking as air raid king right now? Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, or Justin Fields?
Good question. I feel like I don't want to I can't put Mahomes in the air raid category. I feel like they're not really an air raid team. They're a gimmicky offense team that runs like 6 plays. A lot of it's like play action and inside zone. I wouldn't call the Titans an air raid team. When I think air raid, I definitely think of the Vikings now with T Law, obviously
Yeah.
Fields, obviously the Browns, um, the Colts.
Yeah, when I think of air raid, right, I don't think of a play or a set. I think of typically coming out in 3 wide receiver plus sets, and you figure it out, right? If you know your opponent's calling cover 3, you're calling cover 3 attacking routes, cover 1, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, we can go down this rabbit hole, but I kind of agree with you where I think the Titans offense are a little gimmicky, and it's not that we're saying that it's not good, but it's elite execution at 3 to 5 plays.
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't really think he wants to establish himself as an air raid team either. Because I don't think that like full open playbook is there to be considered an air raid.
To answer your question, anyway, though, I would say Fields. I think I still got to give it to Fields. He's played one less game than Lawrence because he had that injury scenario.
Yeah.
Um, and I know he's got a ton of rushing stats too. But it's like, it's just take your pick. I mean, Fields a little more efficient, more volume for T Law. We looked at the punt thing. That's definitely significant. I mean, if you're punting like 7 less times than the average team, you can just kind of take 7 interceptions off the board for T Law.
Yeah. That's still a wild stat. 1 punt.
I know.
I
Crazy.
want to know the situation that was like he's like, I gotta punt this. Like this situation is too much.
Yeah. Or maybe it was early in the season because it was a 33-yard punt. Maybe it was just like, fuck it. Let me just. An interception's as good as a punt with this fucking moron punting the ball.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. So Raiders are 5-8. Chargers are 6-7. So yeah, he's right in the shit.
Oh, dude, imagine a Trout playoff berth.
We need it. I mean, Brennan making the playoffs would be sick too. I'd be happy with either of those outcomes. Love both of those guys.
Yeah, there's no way. I don't think there's any way one of those guys claims a wild card spot, so they know their ticket to the dance is winning that division.
Who do you think ends up winning the AFC East? Both the Dolphins and the Bills are 9-4 right now.
I think if I had to put money on it, I'd go with Riley. I think Riley's onto something special right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can we look at their schedules real quick down the stretch?
Yeah, dude. Let me click it up. Let me open it up.
Oh my God, Riley's got all AFC East matchups. He's got Jets, Bills, Jets, Patriots.
Jets, Bills, Jets. Oh, so I don't want to disrespect anyone, but I hear one hard game there.
Well, yeah, I mean, and then Timmy's got easy. They pretty much just have the head-to-head matchup and then 3 very winnable games. Like Timmy's got at Bengals, versus Bucks, and versus Jets.
Yo, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna go with a fucking Bengals dub over the Bills.
Oh well, I could see Mike pulling out one of the games against Riley too. Maybe they both lose one.
Yeah,
I
no
don't
way
know.
in
I
hell
feel like
Kai
Timmy can
wins.
stop the run.
Versus 40 attempts a game though, like we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. His fucking front seven is just so good though.
I know, dude. When I gave him Brian Breesy, it was like that. It was like
Yeah.
you watch the Avengers. It's like when Thanos gets that fucking final rock, and he's just like, look at my huge purple dick. Like, his defense is nuts, dude.
I don't watch the Avengers, but I know that
You know the reference.
The Avengers is pretty nerdy, right?
Yeah, pretty nerdy, bro.
I feel like just any movie series that has more than like 3, it's just too much for me, dude. It's like then you get this cult following, and it's just I can't deal. It just becomes nerdy for me. I know I'm wrong.
No, I mean I get it. I'm like that with Lord of the Rings is probably like my all-time favorite franchise, and I geek out on that shit. But a cool Spartan man like yourself just doesn't have time for those kind of things.
Stop, dude. I got tons of time.
I definitely think though Riley has the easier shot to the division over Timmy, because I think he's also, if they split, I don't know, we'll see. I'm not gonna do that fucking algorithm division shit right now, but
No,
gonna be a
it's
tight
more.
race.
Well, let's just call it, the way it's probably going to go. Whoever wins their head-to-head matchup is going to win the division. I'm pretty sure last time they played, it was Tyler Wyatt playing quarterback for the Bills, and
Yeah.
now it's Trey Lance.
Yeah, and then Timmy hosts this one. I know Riley likes to make a big deal out of when Timmy hosts those games. So,
well, do you know who you picked at the beginning for to win the division? I can tell you. I'm pulling it up right now. You chose the Dolphins.
oh, let's go! I'm sticking with my pick then, baby.
All right, cool. I had the Bills, so I'll take the Bills. Obviously, I'll stick with my boy Timmy.
Nice.
Timmy told me to shut the fuck up this morning in the chat, and I messaged him.
Dude,
And I was like,
Timmy's so aggressive for being Swedish.
I know, he's such a feisty motherfucker. I said, you ever tell me to shut the fuck up again, I'll shave my head, sneak into your country, then your house, and glue it to your dome while you sleep. There goes your identity, bald beast. Enjoy being a regular hair guy.
Dude, when I was playing Riley, Timmy was in my fucking DMs. He was like, "What are you doing? You have the lead 21-7." I was like, "Hey man, I'm just playing. Like I'm just playing the game how I want to play." He's like, "I didn't realize you wanted to play the game like a fucking moron." And then he just logs off.
Damn, dude. I just got a great idea for a fucking podcast segment, and we got to do it before. I think we just got to do it right now. If we got the time. Do we have time?
Yeah, let's do it. All I gotta do
All right.
is go to Target and buy some soap for my balls.
Okay, all right. Well, you made it seem like you had a goddamn appointment. I want to rank the best division rivalries because that one, the Timmy and Riley rivalry, is a fucking great division rivalry in Madden 22. Another one that comes to mind is obviously Cardinals 49ers. It's a 10-0 rivalry, but there's like
the bad blood is there.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, we saw the numbers today. Fucking seemed like everybody in the league was watching that stream. I was streaming, and like the numbers were getting up there.
Let's go division at a time. Let's go.
Okay.
I mean, we have the time, right? So NFC North, we got Dan is the Bears, Hank is the Lions, Edge is the Pack, RK is the Vikes. Do you go Lions, Vikings?
Lions, Vikings, yeah. The DNVR matchup is the best rivalry in that division, bar none, for sure.
Yeah. NFC East, I mean, we got Alex leading the way. We got Alex as the Boys, Smoke as the Eagles, Caleb as the Giants, and then
I think
Logan
there's no good rivalry in that division.
Yeah, I'd agree. AFC North, you got me as the Browns leading the way typically, Logan as the Bengals, Jason as the Ravens, and Joe's dragging with the Steelers.
What do you think? Anything?
Not really, man. I know Jason took season 1, but just the fact that I'm still leading the division this season, I just don't think there's much of a rivalry there.
I know.
AFC East.
When I look at AFC East, yeah, I mean easily that's a 2-horse race, so that's bound to create a great rivalry. AFC West, there's no good rivalries there; they're all ass.
Yeah.
AFC South, it's kind of the exact opposite. They're all great, so like.
I think there's legit rivalries, like 4-way segment rivalries, right? Like you got Adam and Derek, childhood friends, but you got also Adam and Joke, who have had some tense moments sometimes in the chat. You can say the same thing about Derek and Joke, and then High Speed Stevie's established himself as like a consistent dominant team, where he's beat up on these guys. So this whole division is a bunch of dogs that are rivals against each other.
Texans Titans is a one where it's just like if I'm flipping through the channels and Stevie's playing Jokum, it's like, oh, I'll leave that on,
Yeah.
It's like one of those good movies that's on TBS, like that just comes on like I Love You Man. And it's like even like an hour in, you're just like, fuck it. It's always great. I'll watch. I feel like that's how I feel about Texans Titans. It's great AFC South rivalry.
I was gonna say that rivalry reminds me of Air Force One starring what's his name? Indiana Jones.
Harrison Ford?
Hell yeah. Get off my plane.
Is that who Indiana Jones is, right? Harrison Ford plays Indiana? Okay, all right, cool.
And Han Solo.
Nice. Yeah, I said that confidently, and then immediately was like, wait, is that right? I don't want to sound stupid.
So here's a question for you. I know Scott's had some like success this season. Is your only rival in that division Levon still?
Mm-hmm.
Sick.
Yes. Yeah. Spano was a rival for different reasons, just because we would bicker a little bit in the chat, and then like the first couple seasons. I know in season 2, I think I lost both matchups to the Seahawks.
Yeah,
so there was definitely something there.
The fall of Spano, leading up to the point where he quit the league, was some of the funniest shit ever at the gym. Dude, because last Madden on these all-pro settings, you could not get this dude to shut the fuck up about, and I hope he's fucking listening. This motherfucker better be listening. He would always talk. He would always be talking about his scheme and hyping up his boys, and all this great shit. How he's an elite Madden player, and we jumped to 22, and like he struggled to find that success, like a lot of teams did at first. And the shit talking went to just nonstop bitching, and
Oh,
I mean, hey guys, if you're mad and upset at the game, odds are you're making me laugh and smile, and I'm not gonna feel too bad for you.
I know it is hilarious. When
Yeah,
people think like the Madden shit is like uniquely against them and they're just like getting shafted all the time, it's like,
yeah,
nope, it's you, pal. It's you.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I hope one day Spano comes back in the league if he has some free time. I know they're doing a lot of cool things with DNVR and all the shit they're spreading out, but you have time, dude. Figure it out. You have
I
fucking
don't
time.
know. I don't think so, dude. I feel like he would have to like. He's got a business. He's got a family with kids at this point. Like,
Dude, on his TikTok, he's like, "Today I found a new quesadilla that no one's ever heard of." Like, get on your Xbox, bro. Get on your Xbox.
make time for the things that matter, Brandon. Come on, dude.
Yeah, fuck. And let's
Spano's an
tie it up,
all-time guy.
bro. I am not. I can't exaggerate how much of a Spano fan I am. Dude's a classic homie. But let's wrap it up with the NFC South, man. We actually take away Kai, and there's like some pretty heated rivalries in here. Or you can add Kai just because Kai. But
I don't. I think the fact that Kai has been such an irrelevant team every season has kind of made for like a trio rivalry. Like it's been
yeah,
a 3-horse race the whole time. So whenever the Saints and the Falcons, Saints and Panthers, or Falcons and Panthers are matched up with each other, it's a high stakes game, and that that creates good rivalry. And Dallin and Beef are two people that love to bicker in the chat about random
yeah,
stuff. So especially bickering about each other and their past um,
interactions.
successes
Yeah.
and beefs from Madden's past. So I love that
Dude,
division.
were you in the chat versus? I'm pretty sure you guys were, but the whole Teddy versus Drew thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dude, like they made that shit seem personal. Like they made like Dallin was acting like Drew Lock was his cousin, and Teddy was like Beeve's brother-in-law. Dude, like they were getting vicious. Uh, but if I have to go one rivalry from that division, yeah, I'm going Beeve and Dallin. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, Phil's too much of a really like he's kind of a nice guy to have like a beef and rivalry with.
All right, so we kind of talked about like the best rivalries. I feel like the top three is Riley and Timmy,
Yep,
Hank and RK,
yep.
and then me and Levon. Are those the three best rivalries in the league?
I'll substitute you and Levon for Beeve and Dallin just
Okay,
because there's been more, what do you call it, diversity. Like one team hasn't won literally every fucking
true.
game.
That's
You
true.
know, um. So yeah, I'll have you at 4 though. I'll have you and Levon at 4.
Okay, yeah, but Riley and Timmy, hands down, number one. I love that one so much.
I'd pay. Remember celebrity boxing? Like when like washed out celebrities would like fight each other for money.
Mm-hmm.
I'd pay for Riley and Timmy. I'd pay money to watch them fight. Like that's how much I enjoy their rivalry.
Twitch needs to figure it out so that we can get to a point where we can easily stream where it's like me and you get matched up in a game. We both have our cameras plugged into our Xbox, and boom, both of our webcam videos are like in the corner of the screen. So, because I would like games like that where it's like two great guys who like really want to beat each other really fucking bad to see their reactions. I love seeing Timmy's reactions in the webcam, but like to see
Yeah,
Riley up there too, or to see me and Levon going nuts during our games, or
yeah,
Dallin and Beef. We need more people on the webcam grind, but also just like Twitch having that would be so sick.
yeah. That would be sick.
All right, cool. So we just ran through that. That was great segment. All right, so we did Cards 49ers recap. We did Brina League Member Spotlight. We did the QB rankings. Now we've got wins of the week. We already talked about Raiders over Chiefs. That was one of mine. The other one, another week, another podcast, another win of the week that you were on the losing end of. And it's because you're a great team. So when people beat you, it's impressive and important.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
But Riley beating you, Dolphins over Browns. Talk to me.
Yeah, dude. That was like at the end of that game, I left feeling like Riley, he gained something from that other than like a win. He proved to himself that he could be some, like, an opponent that he's never beaten before. He was down 21-7. You could question my play style, but I wasn't purposely giving him the ball, like I was still trying to make plays. And he came back from two possessions. I even got the ball back at second half, and they just stayed at it. He didn't have the cleanest game with Justin Fields, but when he needed to make a play, he made those plays. And beating the Browns is a really big deal for him. It's another stepping stone for him. I think right before we logged off, he goes, "Oh shit! Like, I think this is the first time I've beaten you." You know, and that's important. That's important for like building up that confidence heading into the playoffs. So huge win for Riley, but I just also want to throw it out there. Your boy got the single season catch record in that game. So not all,
Oh,
not all is lost in Cleveland, baby. Victor Fuentes through 14 weeks, 153 catches. So let's go.
damn. Yeah, standing ovation for Victor Fuentes getting the catch record. Do we think it's more or less impressive that it's a running back getting the record?
I would think it's more impressive for me just because like I feel like those routes are kind of easy to cover. Like it's coming. You only got like 7 yards to defend, and I've done it 153 times. I think it's the combination of having Waddle out there, which scares people, which pulls them away from it. Um, but yeah, some might say
Yeah.
it's less impressive. I don't really give a fuck.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you because I think, for one game, it would be a lot easier to just rack up a bunch of catches with the running back because he runs those short routes. They're kind of low risk throws. But everybody has heard about Victor Fuentes and how many fucking catches he has and that you're looking for him. It's easy to cover like just a running back coming out of the backfield. So now that the word is out and people are still trying to stop it, I think it's gotten more impressive as it's gone on.
Thanks, man.
No problem, dude. Yeah, no,
But
and you make a good point about Riley. Once you get those, confidence building wins, it's like putting a cookie in the cookie jar, as fucking David Goggins would say. Like he does a crazy workout, and so that he knows that he can kind of look back on those crazy workouts when he's, really struggling through one. It's like, oh, I've done a 200-mile run in my past. I've done a 100-mile run. Like I can get through whatever I'm doing right now. So he's going to think about the time that he got over that hump and beat the Browns when he's locked in a tough playoff matchup.
yeah, right. Like if I feel like if Levon would have beat you, he would have felt the same way, right? Like
Hmm.
I beat my rival. Even though you and Levon are friendly, me and Riley are super friendly, but you can't tell me when he loses to me or has lost to me, he enjoys it. Like you get
No,
upset.
yeah,
You want to get those wins. So just hearing how like, he fucking was all sad boy first half and then he started rolling, man. So big props to him and that's a big win for the Dolphins.
for sure. Big props to Riley. He's got Jets tonight, so he's probably going to put up a lot of points, knowing him. And
You can't come back and lose that game. You can't come back and lose this game.
I know. All right, so another big win from this past week was Bears beating the Lions. Dan taking out Lamar and Hank. Um, so I feel like this happens to Hank. Like Hank, he already got the win against the Vikings. Like you shouldn't be letting Dan's good, don't get me wrong. But if you got to be going for the NFC North, you can't be letting the Bears knock you off when you've already knocked off the Vikings. You had a great start to the season. You're going for the division.
Yeah, and it was just such a sloppy game from Hank. And like even I don't know if you watched it or were listening, like he just didn't seem very dialed. Like when he would make a bad play, he's like, "Oh yeah, I anticipated that," or I'm not sure if he had a long day. And like you said, not taking away anything from Dan, but I think we're all at the point now where we continually have Hank and the Lions ranked as a top 5 team. You just can't drop these super important division games. But
Mhm.
that's also a really big win for the Bears. So it's a loss of the week for Hank, but it's a huge win of the week for Dan for keeping his playoff hopes alive and just showing us that Justin Herbert is still like a threat and Cam Akers is still the top running back.
Yeah, no, definitely a big time win for Dan. I mean, Lamar Jackson had 3 fumbles in this game, and that's just kind of like not being fully locked in, like you said, not being dialed. Like if you're fully locked in, you're sliding or you're getting out of bounds. You're not letting Lamar fumble 3 times. But this win's not going to do anything for the Bears in the standings. They're not going to make the playoffs. They've had a tough last season. They hit that doubleheader, double blown game situation
Yeah.
with the Vikings and the Saints.
Yeah, dude, I think he had two exact fumbles the same way. He rushes for, he escapes the pocket, he rushes for a first down. First down's achieved, just run out of bounds. But instead
Mhm.
he's like trying to steal 2 yards for no reason. And he gets cracked in a perfect world, yeah, the ball fumbles and it goes out of bounds and the play's dead. But like there's no reason to push like that. Just
Yeah,
go out of bounds, man. I mean,
when
if
you're
you
getting
play me,
greedy too, the ball always bounces back towards the
yeah.
middle of the field. It seems like.
Yeah, I mean, if you play me, by all means, fight for every yard. You're gonna need it.
Yeah, in the playoffs, Hank, if we play, yeah, just go for those extra yards. They're going to be really important.
hmm What
All
about
right, cool,
this one
man.
though? Can I bring one up?
Yeah, please.
Packers versus Vikings.
Tell me about this game. I didn't watch this game.
So it wasn't like a. It was just an. I only bring it up just because like it was an all around weird game. Like I think we've seen Edge probably not have his best season, but I kind of felt like he showed up for this game and made RK play probably one of his sloppiest games. Um, Actually, RK's had quite a few sloppy games recently with Lawrence. Those stats are there, but there's been a lot of picks. Um, but when it came down to crunch time, RK kind of still figured it out and pulled it out. Um, but if you didn't really watch it, it
I
was
would
just
be
another.
interested to see their head-to-head record, Packers and Vikings. I feel like RK really owns the Packers.
Yeah, I think he does.
And the Packers have such a weird offense right now. Their quarterback, KJ Jefferson. Their running back is fucking Jerryon Ely. Their receivers are weird too. He's got Robbie Anderson. This guy Hakeem Butler, AJ Henning.
Yeah,
He's got a weird ass team.
but I feel like every time I say, you know, the Vikings have to do this or they won't figure it out. Like you can't just flip the switch. And he kind of just seems to flip the switch. But what do you think about like playing these like super sloppy games versus like mid to low like tier teams as we're getting into the playoffs?
Yeah, no, I don't like it. I don't like how it's gonna go for Vikings in the playoffs. I mean, I feel like a broken record when we talk about this, but you need to be balanced in the NFC playoffs. If he thinks that he's going to be able to throw a couple interceptions and sneak away with a playoff win, I think he might be sorely mistaken. So he's definitely got to adjust. But we say this all the time.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, I think those pretty much wraps up wins of the week, right? Unless something else comes to mind.
Nah, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I had Bears over Lions, Dolphins over Browns, and Raiders over Chiefs. And we already talked about Raiders over Chiefs.
Yeah, big shout out to Trout again though. He made the homie Tlyer look like the X Factor that he was supposed to be. And he's an awesome member in the chat. Sometimes he says some pretty wild shit, but uh, he's still here, man. He's surviving the Raiders curse.
Damn. And we made it through basically a whole podcast without saying anything about Deshaun Watson today. I feel like we're probably the only sports podcast slash anything that did not bring up Deshaun Watson today.
Yeah, right. Like we have our own
Platform.
we have our own platform, and we talk about what we want to talk about, and we want to talk about good vibes. And like everybody's just everything's an echo chamber, right? Like
Hmm.
as
Everybody that's,
anything.
yeah, everybody that's given takes about this has probably heard it from somewhere else. Like, no one's changing anyone's mind really on this shit. Like, yeah, who cares? It's just like another fucking celebrity storyline that we're all following that like is super divisive and polarizing. That's just kind of like thrown in our face so that we can get mad at each other. Like, it's a
Yeah,
waste of time.
yeah. Turns out people with a lot of money sometimes do really bad things.
And can get away with it. It's
Yeah, and can
nothing
get
new.
away with it. Yeah,
Yeah. It's like, oh, Deshaun Watson is very valuable to the NFL. So they punished him 6 games. It is what it is, you
yeah.
know. All right, man. Well, Brina, we're going to miss you on this podcast. It's been a pleasure talking to you today, my friend. You got any last words for the people before you're out of pocket? I mean, you'll be in the chat, but no games, no podcast for like the next month.
Yeah, man. Like kind of like I said, really appreciate everyone making the best out of this league that they can. Keep fucking playing your Madden games on time. Like, try to make this league as much of a priority that you can, because at the end of the day, it's the users that make this thing fucking go around. With that being said, make sure to fucking follow all of our socials. Support us on TikTok, YouTube, Telegram. Tell your friends, tell your family. Help us grow as much as you can. And you're a part of it too. So let's fucking keep it rolling, man.
Hell yeah, boys. You probably wonder why we always fucking spend this much time doing the podcast, do the TikToks, everything, talking in the chat. You get out what you put in, you know? You put in more time, you put in more passion to things, you're going to get that much more enjoyment back out of it. I feel that way 100%. I'm sure you feel that way too.
Oh, 100%, bro. 100%.
All right. Well, Brina, safe travels to you. And boys, we will see you in the next podcast.
Later, fellas. See you soon.
Peace.